My name is Clara. I am 63 years old, and I want to share an event that forever changed my life. It all began 11 years ago when my husband, Mark, passed away from lung cancer, a result of the 22 cigarettes he smoked daily. Though he never admitted it, I knew he smoked to battle his silent anxiety. I now live on the 4th floor of an old building, and my main connections are my children, my son, who works in Europe, and my daughter, who lives 33 minutes away but visits rarely. The days are long and slow, marked by the ticking of the clock as I watch life pass by from my window. In these moments, I wonder if anyone notices the loneliness that surrounds me, lingering like smoke, though I no longer live with cigarettes. One day, my daughter called me with a hesitant tone, asking for an unusual favor. She was heading on a ski trip with friends for a week and needed someone to care for Bella, her large dog with soft, shedding fur. Knowing my feelings about animals and the potential mess, she still asked, and perhaps not wanting to disappoint her, I agreed. She assured me it would be just a week and called every day to check in. Reluctantly, I said yes. On Bella's second day with me, I went shopping. When I returned, I found the living room wrecked, cushions shredded, stuffing scattered everywhere like silent, fluffy snowfall. Though furious, I reminded myself she was just a dog and tried to calm down. The next evening, while making dinner, a loud crash came from the living room. I rushed in to find the glass cabinet holding Mark's keepsakes shattered. His glasses, favorite shirt, and the hat he wore on walks were scattered across the floor. Kneeling to pick them up, I was overwhelmed by his lingering scent, a scent I had loved so deeply. I broke down, years of suppressed grief flooding out. While I wept, Bella approached me, her gentle eyes full of understanding. She curled up beside me, resting her head on my legs. In her quiet presence, I felt a sense of comfort I hadn't known in years. From that moment, I began to grasp the true significance of companionship, even from a four-legged friend. Over time, Bella became my constant companion, staying with me even after my daughter returned. One quiet evening, I ran out of eggs and decided to walk to the nearby mini-market.
Bella accompanied me.
As I exited the store, 3 men in hats appeared, their presence unsettling. I tried to change direction, but they followed, matching my pace until they began to run. Cornered, they demanded my purse. Fear froze me, but Bella growled, sensing my distress. One man drew a knife and advanced. Without hesitation, Bella lunged at him, biting his arm to protect me. Amid the chaos, the man struck Bella repeatedly. I watched her fall, her fur soaked with blood. The men fled, leaving my purse behind, but my heart shattered as I knelt by Bella's motionless body, screaming for help. Desperate, I stumbled toward the market but tripped, hitting my head on the pavement. Everything went black. In that moment, I felt weightless, as if I were soaring. A warm, inviting light enveloped me, and I found myself before a staircase stretching into the heavens. Though I couldn't feel my feet, I ascended as if the staircase were part of me. At the top stood a radiant figure, a serene angel with vast white wings. "Am I dead?" I asked, confused. The angel smiled but didn't answer. Instead, he offered to take me to someone who could. We continued upward, passing incredible sights. One was a vast, colorful playground filled with laughing children. Their joy was palpable. "Where are their mothers?" I asked. The angel's gentle reply, "This is the children's paradise." As I tried to respond, I felt a gentle yet undeniable pull, as though an invisible current was drawing me away. The brilliant light around me began to fade, and I became aware of my body again. The dull ache in my ankle, the throbbing in my head, and the faint hum of voices in the background. Slowly, I opened my eyes. I was lying on the cold pavement, surrounded by strangers who looked at me with concern. One of them leaned down and exclaimed, "She's waking up." Disoriented, I struggled to understand what had just happened. Was it a dream? A vision? My mind was flooded with vivid memories of the journey I had just experienced. The angel, the playground filled with children, the serene park of elders, and the radiant figure whose presence radiated peace and understanding. And then there was Daisy, my faithful companion, whose sacrifice had pierced my heart, but also filled it with gratitude. The strangers helped me sit up, and someone called for an ambulance. I wanted to ask about Daisy to know where she was or if she was okay, but the words stuck in my throat. Instead, I was ushered into a car and taken to the hospital, where doctors treated me for a mild concussion and a sprained ankle. They advised rest. But how could I rest when my mind was consumed with the extraordinary experience I had just been through? Over the next few days, I was overwhelmed by a whirlwind of emotions. My heart ached for Daisy and the sacrifice she had made to protect me. Yet, amidst the grief, I felt an incredible sense of peace and gratitude for her presence in my life. I kept replaying the words I had heard in that otherworldly place, the reminder that every soul, whether human or animal, has a purpose. Daisy's purpose had been to help me rediscover the love and strength I had forgotten I carried within me. I couldn't let her memory fade. As I reflected on everything she had done for me, I began to see her role in my life more clearly. Daisy hadn't simply been a pet. She was a guardian, a spirit sent to guide me through my darkest times. She had taught me to open my heart, to forgive, and to find companionship in unexpected places. To honor her, I decided to give back in a way that mirrored what she had given me. I began volunteering at a local animal shelter, caring for dogs and cats who needed love and attention. Every time I looked into their eyes, I felt Daisy's presence, as if she were encouraging me to continue this work. Helping these animals became my way of keeping her spirit alive, a tribute to the profound impact she had on my life. The memories of my journey to that radiant, peaceful place stayed with me as well. They became a source of strength, reminding me of the angel's words about love, forgiveness, and the importance of listening to the heart. Those words reshaped how I viewed the world and my relationships. I no longer took connections for granted, recognizing that every soul that enters our lives has a purpose, even if only for a short time. I often thought of the luminous figure and the promise he had made, that what I had seen was waiting for me when my time came. It gave me a sense of calm, knowing that the love and peace I had felt there would one day be mine again. But for now, I had a purpose to fulfill here, a life to live with renewed gratitude and a heart open to giving and receiving love. When I look up at the sky now, I think of that endless staircase, the joyful laughter of children, the serene conversations of elders, and the infinite light of peace that embraced me. I think of Daisy, the spirit who had been sent to me when I needed her most. Though she is no longer by my side, I feel her presence in the choices I make, the kindness I share, and the life I am building. I know that one day when my journey here is complete, I will climb that staircase again. My heart will be full of memories, love, and gratitude, and I will finally reunite with those I've loved. Until then, I will honor Daisy's gift by living with purpose, compassion, and an unshakable belief in the enduring power of love. He spoke before I could, his voice calm and powerful, dissolving every fear in an instant. "Do not be afraid," he said gently. "One day you will be reunited with Milo here, in this paradise, which will become your eternal home. Your dwelling awaits you," he continued, gesturing toward a hill covered in lush greenery. Beyond it, I saw a small wooden house, simple yet inviting, just as I had always dreamed but never had the chance to create. It looked as though it had been crafted straight from my deepest desires. A wave of warmth and familiarity washed over me as I gazed at it, as if my very soul recognized this place. "That will be your eternal dwelling," he explained. "Every detail reflects your hopes and dreams because the life you lived prepared you for this moment, for your return home. Here, no longing will go unanswered." He paused, his serene expression unchanged, and then added, "You will find everyone you've loved here, and Milo will be waiting for you. He will walk with you forever and remain by your side, always." Those were his final words. resonating with an indescribable peace that enveloped me completely. As his figure dissolved into the light, I felt a warm, pure energy cradling me, gently guiding me downward. The pull of a familiar call brought me back to my life. Darkness surrounded me, but the warmth of that paradise, the promise of the little house, and the certainty of eternal love stayed with me like a guiding star, an unshakable truth I carried in my heart. This is all I remember vividly, and I hold it close as one of life's most precious gifts. I wish I could recall more, as perhaps other details could provide comfort to those seeking answers. But what I experienced, I am certain, was deeply shaped by the bond one shared with Milo. During the last years of his life, he had been my steadfast companion, my silent source of comfort. I now understand that this bond influenced everything I saw and felt, making the experience profoundly personal and meaningful. Since that moment, I've come to see life differently. I've realized that even our animal companions have a purpose in our journey. Every connection, no matter how small, is a thread weaving us into something eternal. Nothing is random. Every encounter, every glance, every creature that crosses our path holds a message, even if we don't immediately recognize it. Sometimes an animal appears in our lives on what seems like an ordinary day, easily overlooked as we're consumed by our worries. But these creatures are gifts, sent to teach us lessons in unconditional love, patience, and devotion. Too often we're lost in our thoughts, burdened by fears and problems that in hindsight seem trivial. Meanwhile, the heart quietly whispers, guiding us toward what truly matters. Every companion, every being that stands by us, has a meaning that goes far beyond what the eye can see. If you've ever had a loyal friend, a being who brought you comfort, taught you patience and forgiveness, and reminded you of life's simple joys, don't grieve their loss. Instead, cherish the love you shared. The pain you feel is proof that your heart was open, capable of listening, and ready to grow. I believe with all my heart that those who love unconditionally and live with open hearts already carry the seeds of faith within them. These are the souls destined to find, beyond this life, a paradise where every bond becomes eternal. For those curious about my story, I must share this truth. Milo did not survive. The sacrifice he made to protect me came at the cost of his own life. When I woke up in the hospital, surrounded by the market owners who had called for help, the weight of his loss settled heavily on me. I stayed there for a month, recovering from a fractured ankle and severe head trauma. In the silence of those long nights, I felt the light I had seen and gained a deeper understanding of its meaning. Milo had given me everything, and his love would remain with me forever. Returning home was painful. The emptiness of the house was overwhelming. It felt as though all the life had been drained from it. But one day, while visiting a nearby animal shelter, I met Oliver, a small dog with kind, soulful eyes. In that moment, I knew I couldn't live without the companionship of a four-legged friend. Oliver came home with me that very day, and over the past 5 years, he has become my loyal companion and a daily reminder of the patience and joy that animals bring into our lives. I am certain that one day I will see Milo again, along with all the loved ones I've lost, in the peaceful paradise I was shown. Until that time comes, I carry forward the lessons he taught me, living each day with gratitude and purpose. Every step I take brings me closer to that eternal love. And when the evenings grow quiet and I close my eyes, I feel Milo's presence beside me still. Each breath becomes a whisper of thanks for the time we shared. Perhaps this is what paradise truly is, to continue loving, knowing that our hearts are always connected to those we've cherished. Thank you for listening to my story. If you too have had a special animal that changed your life and left an indelible mark on your soul, I would love to hear about it. Share your story in the comments and let this message reach others. Let's remind the world that our animal friends are so much more than companions. They are guides, teachers, and kindred spirits who reveal the meaning of pure and unconditional love.